On Thursday this week, the people of Kiambaa constituency will be going to the polls to elect their new member of parliament. That by-election is a do or die for both President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. For William Ruto, he must win that by-election. Without winning, it means he will have to reconsider his strategy for the larger Mount Kenya region. And for President Uhuru Kenyatta and his allies, they also need to win that seat to gain the momentum to try and recover the lost grounds in the larger Mount Kenya region. And already, there are drama and propaganda. And by the way, today it has rained heavily in Kisumu. And I'm recording this video from outside. And it's still raining. There's no power inside. That's why I'm outside. And I can see from outside here, the quality seems to be good. In fact, my office is just here. This is the door to my office. You know it has rained heavily, right?
Yeah.
So I want to record today from here. Yeah? So say hi to my friends.
Hi.
Mnakula mandazi? Okay. Can you disappear?
Okay.
Yeah, disappear. Now, very interesting development in Kiambaa. And I promised to do a video on what next for President Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, and Raila Odinga in Kiambaa. The implications of that by-election. But today I want us to focus more on new developments. Because the allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta are leaking certain details which they believe were plots by the allies of William Ruto to rig that election. Initially, Moses Kuria shared on his Facebook page a screenshot of what appears to be a phone call from the Cabinet Secretary for ICT, Joe Musheru. Joe Musheru called a number, and Moses Kuria was claiming that that number is actually a UDA agent. And he was claiming that Joe Musheru was trying to persuade or to threaten these people so that they could compromise the election. It ended like that. And then, after some times, photos of what appears to be the United Democratic Alliance tallying center or operation center leaked. And the story behind that leak was that the UDA were trying to come up with a propaganda that they printed some fake ballot papers, and that center was being used to mark these fake ballot papers in favor of Kariri Njama to gain sympathy. Let me just read for you, because there's a lady by the name Pauline Njoroge, and there's a gentleman called Wahome Tuko. These two people are actually agents of the state. Not really agents per se, but whatever they post is the thinking behind the state. Pauline Njoroge is making a very interesting post that UDA is very upset over leakage of photos from their meeting, where they are planning some not very nice things. Therefore, it was supposed to remain secret. They have embarrassingly ejected the person they suspected was leaking the photos. But the ejected guy is innocent. The leaker is still inside the meeting. So basically, if you are reading closely what Pauline Njoroge is trying to say, she's suggesting that Jubilee have actually planted their people right inside the UDA tallying center. But we don't want to go into that. I want us to focus more on a statement which she posted, and it's a very long statement. And I want to go step by step. Pauline Njoroge is saying the problem with one-dimensional people is that they keep using the same tricks, even those that have been bypassed by time. Anyway, after we preempted Tanga very desperate plans to have John Njuguna kidnapped so as to gain sympathy votes, they now want to employ all tricks. The idea of kidnapping candidates in central Kenya to gain sympathy is something which has happened in the past. Moses Kuria used this trick to defeat President Uhuru Kenyatta. When Moses Muhia, I think I got the name right, Muhia, the former member of parliament, defeated Uhuru Kenyatta. What happened during that time was that Muhia was made to disappear just a few days to the election. His car was then driven to a nearby river. His clothes were dropped there. So people thought that this guy had been killed, because if the vehicle is here, the clothes are here, and the guy is not there. Then this guy just made an appearance on the voting day. By that time, sympathy had already built, and he claimed that he had been hijacked. Now, if this is true, I don't know whether it was going to work in the current era, where you kidnap a candidate, then he wins sympathy, then on election day, he makes an appearance. So according to Pauline Njoroge, that was the first trick which they managed to stop. She's proceeding. Now, number one, they have hatched a plot to stuff ballot papers with Kariri's name, place them in a strategic place, and take pictures, then claim that Jubilee has plans to rig. I understand politics very well. This could actually be Jubilee plan. But how will it be implemented? Again, it could be UDA strategy and propaganda. So that should they be defeated, they won't accept the results. But Jubilee, being the government, could actually attempt to stuff ballot papers. So what they are doing is to preempt these things, so that in case someone will come across these kind of schemes, then they'll say they were tanga-tanga. On this, I tend to think it could be both parties. Because Jubilee is in government, and the government is keenly following this. Remember, by yesterday, I think the security apparatus had been changed. Several other things have taken place in Kiambaa. Number two, they are saying voter bribery on election day is also top in their to-do list. They will ask people to take a photo of their marked ballot papers, then show the photo to get paid after voting. Of course, this has happened before. It happened in Msambweni. We saw it happening in Matungu. But again, the Kenyan voters today are more intelligent. They can eat your money, and after eating your money, there is nothing you can do. And IBC should actually try to stop people from taking photos. Like, of course, a few people can take photos. It's normally normal, but you can't claim in a situation where everybody goes to the ballot and all of them takes photos. Kiambaa, majority of people in Kiambaa, I don't think they have the smartphone. So unless someone will be giving them the smartphone to go and take photos and then prove that they actually voted. But let us wait and see. On that, I agree, it can happen. Again, it could also be a reverse psychology. Jubilee is the government. If it's money, they have the money. In fact, I tend to think that Kiambaa people have really enjoyed this by-election, because I'm told the UDA was mashing money, were unleashing money to the residents like nobody's business. Jubilee were also dishing out money like nobody's business. So that one can go either way. Number three, something they are also saying, which we witnessed again in the last election, is that out of 5 wards in Kiambaa constituency, UDA only has one stronghold, Karuri ward, and that's where they have concentrated their campaign. They now plan to cause chaos in the other 4 wards to try and suppress turnout. On this now, I agree with Pauline Njoroge. The UDA did this trick in Msambweni, and it worked. In Msambweni, they identified what they consider to be stronghold of Bada. After identifying those strongholds, what they did, they ensured that the ODM stronghold, which was Diani, the turnout was low. And I was telling someone that ODM played into the hands of UDA in Msambweni. UDA knew so well the ODM game plan, that the ODM were going to go there and start protecting votes from 10. So they ensured that their strongholds, people voted. The people they mobilized voted so early. So if Jubilee wants to stop UDA, one thing they must do is that they must go to the ground and ensure their people vote early. And also, if they have to block UDA, then they must make sure that they monitor the turnout very early in the morning. Because that's what they did in Msambweni, turn out early. So by the time ODM was doing the drama, their people had already voted. The ODM scared their own supporters, and ultimately, the UDA candidate won. Again, on that, I don't want to argue, because I really don't understand the dynamics there. And they're saying they had a crazy plan to make police uniform and clothe rogue guys who would harass residents, then blame it on government. Not sure whether they decided to go on with this or it's on hold. Now, this is something which happened in Kisii during the last by-election. And you saw how residents hated police harassment. They resisted police harassment. Now, if someone was planning to make police uniform, that's serious. They must be arrested. They must be arrested. And if someone is planning to clothe people with police uniforms to harass people, then what's the role of the government? What's the role of the security? On this, I tend to think it could be reverse psychology. It could actually be reverse psychology. That the plan is that the security apparatus are going to go there. Maybe not to harass people, but to manage some rogue people. So they're likely to arrest the crew from UDA and blame them for attempting to mess up with the election. I don't know how the outcome is going to be. But one thing which I can predict is that Kiambaa by-election is going to be a turning point. I've actually gone also to the wall of Dennis Itumbi on his Twitter. And Dennis Itumbi is also suggesting, let me just see if I can get it, that whatever is coming out of Jubilee is actually part of their propaganda, and is agreeing with me that they could actually be reverse psychology. Let us wait and see how this by-election is going to turn out. But two things are likely to determine the outcome of this election. Number one, the person who is going to mobilize their supporters to turn out. You can convince people to vote, to love your guy, but who has the contact? Who can mobilize his real people to go out and vote? Number two is going to be the state and the deep state. This election has the potential of being rigged. That's the honest truth. Thank you, guys. Until tomorrow. Bye-bye.